Okay, I'm getting a bit of feedback, so I'm going to click mute all again. Okay, so for the Rhino Group, welcome to the Inspire Group's platform, and for the Inspire Groups, welcome to the Rhino Group team, because I know they're going to, I'm sure they've got a lot to kind of participate.
Okay, fine.
Hello. Like some people are pressing unmute. I'll mute you all. Okay, right. Listen. Okay. So before we get started, what I thought, since we've got two different teams, before we go into some recognitions, I'm just looking for maybe a couple of people from the Rhino Group to do a wee testimonial. Just a very short testimonial, a couple of minutes. You know, you can like your background, why you joined, and what you've done so far in the business. And maybe a couple of people from the Inspire Group as well. So if we've got any volunteers, now you can, if you've never used Zoom before, it's very simple. We have, down the bottom of your screen, should have like a chat facility. You should be able to click your camera button to turn your camera on, and the mute button to unmute yourself if you want to come on camera. If you don't want to come on camera and you want to talk, you can click unmute. The only thing I do ask though is that when I'm doing the presentation, that you don't unmute yourself or stuff like that whilst I'm doing the presentation. Okay, so is anybody from, first of all, the Rhino Group would like to do a quick 2-minute testimonial? We've got any volunteers? Oh, there's Francis. How are we doing? Need to unmute your button. You need to press unmute as well.
There you go. I've done both. You should be able to hear me.
Yeah, here you go, loud and clear.
Good evening, everybody. I just need to get Heather to mute hers because I'm getting feedback. We joined Clean Easy at the end of March. Gone from strength to strength. We joined initially because Heather wanted to sack the boss and run her own business. So we decided to enter into this together. So Heather does all the work, I get all the praise. That's how it's supposed to work. I think we've hit every target we've wanted to, period on period. We've got 5 members of the team now, so progressing nicely.
Excellent, brilliant. And if you don't mind me asking, if you don't mind sharing, what's your top income so far?
Say again, Steve.
Your top check so far?
727 of the last period. So
that was last period. I think I saw that on the group. Excellent. Well, that's brilliant. Thanks for sharing. Is there anybody else maybe from the Rhino Group want to share before we move on as well? Just so that some of the Inspire Group can get to know you and vice versa. Anybody want to be brave? No more volunteers? That's okay. If you don't have any volunteers, that's okay. But maybe we've got, is anybody from the Inspire Group would like to maybe give their quick 2-minute testimonial? Come on, Tracy, you weren't shy a minute ago.
All right, okay, I'll do it.
All right. Is it just by mic today?
All right, okay, I'll put this on.
It just shows how nice. Make us all jealous that you're in nice and sunny Mexico.
Nice sunny Mexico. I don't know about that, but I'm up in my room in a minute. I'll get out in the veranda. I come up here to come out, but the sun is splitting the trees, and you can't see none because of the sun. But it's roasting. It's roasting, so it is. But
right. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Tracy. Why you joined Clean Easy, and what your results have been, and how you found it, and that kind of thing.
Well, for myself, I'm a single parent. I've got a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old at home. I do have a 25-year-old, but she's grown up, got her own family and all that now. I run my own childminding business full time, and I was just looking for an extra income. Mm-hmm. And I went on to one of the job sites, sent my email details away, and your mum contacted me and told me about Clean Easy, and I told her, sorry, not interested.
You're not the first.
And then she says to me, so have you seen the K-Live stuff? And she sent me a link to her own page, and I looked at it and I went, nah, I'm in, give me a call, and that was me. And that was about 14 weeks ago. I started. I've got 26 or 27 members, can't remember now. I think it's either 26 or 27 members in my team.
In your team, yep. It's growing fast. It's growing that fast you don't know how many you've got in your team.
Well,
I think you're actually officially over 30 because some of your team members have also sponsored.
Yeah. They've got two of my team members have got 2 people in each, so, and I signed 11 people this month, a few of them from Mexico, so they're no bad.
Well, in Mexico, they're not from Mexico.
No,
not yet. We're not there yet.
I'm still managing to sign people, so
yeah.
I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and as I say, 14 weeks or something in the business, and I just keep building and just try to see how far I can go, and I'm reaching for gold. That's what I want to do for Christmas. That's my goals, to get to gold by Christmas. And
well, you're on target. It looks like you might hit 18% in this period. If you have a few more sales coming in, I think 18% by tomorrow might be a possibility. Okay, great. So, yeah, excellent. Thanks very much, Tracy.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, okay. So I think Lynn's actually messaged me. Sorry, she can't get in. Try again. I don't know why she can't get in. Great. So it says she's in, but I don't know why she says she can't get in. So what I just want to do, first of all, before we move on, I don't know if anybody from the Rhino groups wants to do the same thing, but I just want to say we've got a few well dones. Oh, actually, do you want this part of my presentation? So I'll bring my presentation. So I'm a bit flustered today because it was all a bit different. It's a bit different today. Okay, so just want to say greetings, welcome, hello, hi, how are you doing? Welcome to the team, to a few people. So this week, for example, our team in the Inspire group, we've had quite a few new people join. We've got Alison Morning, Emma Mitchell, Tracy Tonkin, Janelle McDonald, Marie House, Elizabeth Erie, and Jess Hagan, all joining this last week. Fantastic to have you on board. Really good to have you on. And well done also to some people who have managed to do their first welcome rewards, usually within the first week as well. Fantastic. So we've got Tamsin Henderson done as well, Phil Smith, Shannon Patterson, Paula Haddy, and Alison Mourning, all in the last week. Fantastic. Great results coming in. And it's really exciting because we've got some new, before tomorrow we already know, we've got some new qualifiers for bonus levels. Lisa Quigley, I don't know if you're on tonight, Lisa, or not, but well done. You hit 10% already, and it's your first time doing that, so really chuffed for that. And of course, Tracy Mackay, you missed 15% last period by 8 points. Don't know how that happened, but we learned a lesson. I think we'll learn a lesson from that. And but this time you've smashed through it, and you're only about 400 odd pounds short of 18%. You said you've got a £300 order there yourself. You've got a nice wee team there, so there's a good chance that tomorrow we might be celebrating your 18% level. And my mum and dad, you're heading towards 21%. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. Keep us informed. And then possibly even Paul Hanlon might be gold distributor tomorrow. But we'll have to wait and see. And if that happens, that would mean that I'd be a senior distributor. So it's going to be a hectic day tomorrow, and we're really looking forward to it. So far, top sponsor in the team is Tracy Mackay. He sponsored 11 people this period. I think you're going to win that one because nobody else is quite close to you there yet. And so far, top retailer is Paul at £1,350. So excellent, well done. But all this could change by tomorrow. Does anybody from the Rhino group want to do any recognitions before we move on? Don't know, maybe not. Okay, that's okay. So maybe I think it's a bit of a delay, I think, sometimes when I ask these questions, some people come back, but that's okay. You can even do that maybe a bit later on if you have got one. Okay, so as I was just saying there, tomorrow we've got bonus levels to try and achieve. Do you know what you need to do to hit your bonus levels? So first of all, the very first bonus level, that 10%, which Lisa Quigley has achieved, it starts at £780 worth of sales between you and any team members you've got. I know that's how Lisa's done it. Lisa's done it, I think she's on about £500 or £600 worth of sales herself, and she's got a couple of team members that were also placed in orders, and one of them actually in the last week doing her first welcome reward. So that's excellent. So we've got that's 10%. So £780 or more gets you that first bonus level. Second bonus level at 13%, 1.5%, and so on. It goes up to that magic number at the top there, £9,000 worth of sales for Gold Distributor. Now, so we've got less than 24 hours, only 24 hours left to hit whatever bonus level you're going for. Don't panic. Well, maybe do panic a little bit. Get a bit excited. There's still a lot you can do between now and tomorrow. Even if you move your catalogues, I put a whole lot of catalogues out yesterday for tomorrow, but there's still some stuff I can do tonight to make myself hit the level I'm aiming for personally. And here's a little tip I've got for you, and it's especially if you're working between now and tomorrow, what can you do? Well, do you know what? Tonight, right after this webinar, why not go on there onto Facebook and do some extra posting? Make sure you've done your 50 groups today, or however many groups that you aim to do per day. I'm sure whatever Lynn's teaching the Rhino group, we teach 2 products into 50 groups per day. So make sure you've done however many that is. And why not look at these things here on the K-Life website, Internet Specials, and you get a whole load of Internet Specials in there. And the great thing about Internet Specials are, okay, yes, you get a slightly reduced commission on an Internet Special, but some of them, they're priced to sell. So they're really, really good bargains. And who doesn't like a good bargain, you know? And some of them are high-end products, like that's stand mixers, actually, I think it's £65. Sell a couple of them. Do you think that'll get you closer to that next bonus level? Absolutely. There's other products in there. There's a 12-in-1 steam mop. They sell great. I remember, I think last year I sold about 10 or 12 of them or something like that. I can't remember how many, loads of them. So they sell really well, and they're £50 a pop. So how many, and then of course you've got smaller items, that will sell. Maybe you might not, instead of selling 1 or 2, you might sell quite a few of them, some of those lower price items, and it all adds up. It doesn't matter that they're lower commission, they still add the same amount of bonus points, same amount of pounds into your turnover to hit those higher bonus levels. So that's a wee tip for you. You can also contact people contact people and say, hey, I'm not close to a bonus, can you help me out? Have a look at my catalogue. Friends and family will love to help you out. There's loads of ways you can hit that bonus level by tomorrow. So Christmas now, we're well into it now. I've had Christmas orders. I'm sure lots of you have had Christmas orders as well. It is the best retail season. And now here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover a little bit about what we can do with our catalogues, okay? And trust me to be a bit disorganised today, and I haven't got a catalogue sitting beside me. Well, I have got catalogues, but not in a very presentable fashion. I should have got one. But anyway, so you all know the catalogue range. Now, what to do with your catalogues? Now, if you have 200 plus catalogues, what can you do with them? Well, we highly recommend that you get 5 or 10 of them and circulate them around friends and family. Okay, I'm going to cover that in a wee bit more detail in a second. But when you've got 200 odd plus catalogues, you've got more options as well. You can also blanket drop them, which is blanket dropping, for those who don't know, is go out with them every door, post it through every door, leave it for 1 or 2 days, go back, collect them back in. A lot of them will be lying in the doorstep for you just to pick up, put in your bag and go to the next door. And you've got orders in them, it's great. Okay? Or with 200 plus catalogues, you can also have the option of knocking on the doors and offering people the catalogues. You can even use some of them as complimentary catalogues. I don't know if the Rhino Group teach this or not. We do. That if you've got an online customer, to give them, now if they live locally to you, what we recommend is you give them a catalogue, but make sure you go back and collect it. If they live locally to you and you want to collect those catalogues and back in again anyway, okay? Because we don't want to just forget, because a catalogue that's not getting collected does not have any urgency for somebody to look at it. So if you give somebody a catalogue for 1 or 2 days, they're more likely to look at it then, rather than thinking about, oh, I'll look at that when I feel like it, okay? But a lot of us now are selling a bit beyond our local area. So you can give people a complimentary catalogue. If you're seeing them face to face, you can give them one, say, here's a complimentary catalogue, probably compliment slip in there, just let them know how they can contact you if they want to place an order, but also ask for permission to message them and ask them if they want anything. If you're not going to see them face to face, and so maybe it's a drop ship order or a PayPal order you've done, then you can post a catalogue to people. I'm going to talk about that a bit more in a wee second. Okay. Okay, so, but what if you've got only 50 to 100 catalogues? Okay, so this is what to do with maybe those welcome rewards you get. So I'm just coming to mute there. Okay, if you've got, let's say, for example, you've done your welcome reward and you get your first 50 kind of catalogues, maybe that, maybe because you maybe start with your first 5 and then you get another 50 because you get your welcome reward. What can you do with them? Maybe get your second welcome reward, third, or whatever else, and you maybe got 50 to 100 catalogues. What can you do with them? Well, again, you can still go around your friends and family. You know, don't just do your friends and family once. You know, your friends and family, if they like the products, they'll want to buy again. So why not make sure you're right. With your friends and family, what you're basically doing is, what I recommend you do is you get a notepad and you write down a list of people you know, okay? And maybe break it into 5s, and each 5, take the first 5 in the list, get them a catalogue, leave it for 1 or 2 days, and collect them back in. And get them to your next 5 in your list. Now, how big could your list be? It might take you, if you do it in that kind of speed, it might take you a few weeks to get around that list. So why not, once you've finished going round, you know, maybe after maybe 4 weeks or something, and start back at the beginning again. Get them the catalogue again. Maybe add in the Christmas catalogue. You know, mix up a bit. So that's what you can do with your 50 to 100 catalogues. But also, that's enough catalogues to do the knocking and presenting method. We don't recommend that you blanket drop when you've got 50 to 100 catalogues, just because it's not enough numbers. Really, blanket dropping works by numbers. So the more you do, the more likely you're going to get a good result. Whereas if you knock and present with the catalogues, you're making sure that little number you've got are going into the hands of people who are going to look at that, or hopefully going to look at that catalogue. It's more likely that they are, if they've accepted the catalogue to look at, then you just post it through the door. Okay? But you can also use that 50 to 100 catalogues. So some people, especially if they're working online, and they've got 50 catalogues there, but some people are not going right with their catalogues. Okay? If you're not going to go out with your catalogues, then at least use them as a complimentary catalogue and get them to your online customers as well. Okay, so that's some things you can do with your catalogues. But what if you've only got your first 5 catalogue packs and that's all you've got? Well, make sure those catalogues work hard, you know. Get them to friends and family. Just as I said, make that list, first 5, second 5, and so on, and only give it for 1 or 2 days. If an auntie wants a catalogue for a week, maybe I don't recommend that, because if you've only got 5 catalogues and somebody's got it for over a week, it's only going to maybe come back with 1 order, right? Whereas if you can get that catalogue out and in within, leaving it with them for 24 hours, because that's all they need to feel urgent. Because if they have it for 24 hours, they're going to think, oh, I better look at it now. And they're going to look at it now, and they'll find things they want to buy, right? And then you can get it back, get it to the next person. So, and that can get you 5 orders in a week. Rather than leaving it for 1 person for a week, you can only give you 1 order, okay? And another thing is, if they got it for a week, and you know, it's like yourself, you get something for a week, you've got to look at it, you put it aside, you think, I'm busy, everyone's busy, you know? If they put it aside and they forget about it, it gets mixed in with the newspapers and they forget about it until you go back and ask for it. Okay, and that's another important thing. When it comes to leaving for 1 or 2 days, you be the initiator of getting that catalogue back. Don't wait for people to phone you up. I saw this on the, I think it was the online group, or the success group, and it was saying catalogues work. I put up this picture in my group asking people to comment yes if they'd like a Christmas catalogue posted to them. The response has been great, with many requests, and it's keeping my group active in the news feeds. I also received my first order from this by text last night, over €100 from a single order. Right, so this is asking people in your Facebook group, would they like a catalogue to look at? And a lot of people will want a catalogue to look at. But here's the key as well, the fortune's in the follow-up. If you're giving people catalogues, now I recommend if you're doing that with a Christmas catalogue, maybe order an extra pack of 50 Christmas catalogues. It only costs £8 per 50 to do that. But the fortune's in the follow-up. So don't just leave people to come back and contact you when they want to order. If you're giving out a catalogue, that's one of your assets. You want to follow it up. So some things you can do if you're doing it on Facebook is people you're giving a catalogue to is regularly message them, asking them, how did you like the catalogue? Just want to see if there's anything you wanted to order. If they've got a complimentary catalogue, you can message them on, like, if not weekly, fortnightly or whatever, or monthly basis, whatever, depending how you feel most comfortable with. It's a bit new for us all to this kind of method anyway, so we're still kind of feeling it out. But you have to follow up, okay? Think of it as a customer list. So that's an important thing as well. Is everybody who's a customer of yours or who you're commenting to about the products, get them on a notepad or an Excel spreadsheet, taking note of who are your customers and your potential customers. So that way, what you've got a hard copy, and just like we do with our catalogues out there through the doors, is that see that list as your customer base, and actively, as it says, the fortunes in the follow-up, actively message those people, contact those people, seeing if there's anything they want from their catalogues or from your group and that kind of thing. Okay? So as just I should really remember slides I put up there. So yeah, a notepad and pencil is really, really, really an asset to your online business, especially, you know, for that purpose, taking notes of who is buying. We also do the exact same with our catalogues as well, having notes, good records of who's buying, who's interested, who's looking at the catalogues, that kind of thing. Okay, so everybody who asks me about a product, everybody who buys from me, shows a slight bit of interest, goes in my notepad. Okay. So retailing. So here's some more example things. So how many people would like some guaranteed results? Now I know tomorrow is going to be a fantastic end of the period. I just know it's going to be. We just see the figures. It's growing. It's great. It's exciting, isn't it? Everyone, if you're going for a bonus level, it's really exciting. Now I know though as well that at the end of the period, I know who is going to be my top 3 retailers, and they've all got a second name, Hanlon. Okay, and it's as I have probably the most established customer base, the most established retailers, and we don't guess at what our retail results are going to be at the end of the 4 weeks. We know, but at the start of the 4 weeks, we know what we're going to achieve at the end of the 4 weeks. Okay, so the answer to that is experienced distributors don't guess, wish or hope. They guarantee it to themselves. So how to guarantee your results with catalogues? Know your averages. That's all it is. Okay, it's nothing about. I remember Limit Donald saying that one of our team members had a shotgun. Used to go around the doors with a shotgun to get his orders. Like, you know, give me an order. But it's nothing like that. There's no magic trick to it. It's just consistency and knowing your averages. So if one person, let's say they're really doing great, they're getting 1 in 10 people to buy from their catalogue, right? And let's say I'm 1 in 15. Who's got the best customer base there? Who's got the best customer base? Who's going to have the best result? Okay, now some people think, well, the person can 1 in 10. Well, I would still win, okay? And here's why. Because if they do 500 and get 50 orders, I'll go out and do 800 and I'll get more. Okay? Have I done my sums right? I hope I done my sums right. I should have wrote it down. Okay, so but you get the idea, because it's not about what your ratio is. It's about knowing your average. As soon as you know what your average, you can write any level of income you want to get from that result. Okay, so here's an example. Because the truth is, you don't know your average. If you're just brand new, you don't know what your average is yet. So we recommend you maybe go along with averages that Clean Easy already have established. And if you're posting the catalogue through doors and collecting them back in 1 or 2 days later, then we go in the basic average of £1 per catalogue. Now, it may be less, it may be more for you. Okay, and that's why you need to know your average. But this is a good guide to go along by initially. So if you wanted, for example, to earn £464 at the end of the 4 weeks, as we've highlighted here, then you can see that you should be aiming to do about 400 houses as a minimum per week. Okay, now, so that's giving you something to focus on to start with. However, once you've done your first week, 400 houses, your second week, another 400 houses, after a while, you'll start to see your own results coming through. You'll start to see, okay, when I put in my 400 houses, catalogues, I'm not getting £400, I'm getting £300, okay? Or I'm getting £500. And you work out your own average. And once you've worked out your own ratio, you can basically rewrite this whole table. If you want to earn £900, you know what you need to do to earn £900 from your retail. Okay, so knowing your average is the key. If you're knocking on the doors and presenting the catalogue, we find that you get roughly a bit of a different result. You get, about, instead of £1 per catalogue, it's about £2.50 per catalogue. So if you wanted to get that same result, then £400 odd, you're talking about knocking on the doors and offering the catalogues, and 160 people per week taking the catalogue. Okay, and the exact same thing happens. You work out an average, then you can write this table to your own specific averages. So that's how you guarantee your result. Once you know that average, can you work out how much you need to do to earn £1,000? Of course you can. You just need to, you may have to work hard for it, but that's okay. When you get to a customer base eventually, I'll talk about that in a wee minute. So when you're presenting, is it presenting or is it posting? Which one? You know, some people prefer presenting, some people prefer posting. I'll be honest just now, myself, when I started, I was taught to post and I posted. I have not really done any presenting yet. I've not had a need to yet because I built my customer base with posting when I was taught how to do it that way, and that's fine. But there's a lot of people I know who prefer to present. So presenting, a good estimate for part-time is maybe to 100 to 150 houses per week. It's a good kind of minimum level to aim for good, decent, half decent, you know, part-time income. It takes longer to put them out because also you've got to knock on those doors, each door, and you're only giving it to the people that take it. So it's going to take a while to get your catalogues out. But it's a lot quicker to bring them in because it might take you a long time to put, let's say, 100. But to bring in 100 is really quick because you're not having to go around all those doors again that you went round to find those 100 people to take it. So it's really quick to bring it in. You get better averages, £2.50 per catalogue rather than maybe £1 per catalogue, which means that the return per catalogue is a lot better. The catalogues may be working a bit harder. It's also quicker to a customer base because you can really quickly work out who's interested and who's not, because some people are just telling you right there at the doorstep. But it probably takes about 3 months, 3 periods, I'd say, to build a presenting area into a customer base. You'll lose less catalogues because you're only giving it to people who want it, and you need less catalogues to do it. If you're posting, you know, you're probably a good average to aim for if you're doing it part-time alongside a job, for example, 400 to 600 houses per week. It's quick to put out because it's just boom, 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 out they go, really quick. But it does take longer to bring back in because you're going to have to go to every door. A lot of them won't be in the doorstep. You have to knock on the door. I tend to find, from what I've heard, people get more stragglers this way, but that's okay. And it's about £1 per catalogue. Okay, so it's a lower average, but still a good average. It takes 3 to 4 months to get to a customer base with posting. I'd probably say 4 months. Some people say a bit longer, depends how many times you give people a chance to look at the catalogue. You lose more catalogues as well in this method. I would say, on average, when I was blanketing, I expected roughly about 10% losses of catalogues after 3 attempts to collect them back in. So you need more catalogues in general for this method. Okay. Oh, I've got that slide again. I didn't realise I thought I took that slide out. But anyway, oh, that's what I had in there. So at first, that's what you're doing. They say you're doing 400 houses per week blanketing. You know, it's a bit of work to do, okay? Or if you're knocking present, it's about 160 houses per week you've got to knock and present the catalogue to. But then, do you know what? When you get to customer base, so after 3 to 4 months, or maybe 5 months, 6 months, depending how thorough you are, and how big an area you're doing, you're only going to go back now. You've taken out all the people that don't look at the catalogue, who are not interested, who don't buy, and you're only going to those people that do buy. And you probably find initially you're getting maybe about £4 per catalogue. It's really quick. It's a lot easier, quicker to put out 100 catalogues through the letterboxes of 100 customers than it is to probably to blanket 400 houses. Okay, so you spend a lot less time, but as you can see here, you're getting the same result. So when you get your catalogues, it's important to make them up properly. Put a label on the catalogue, back of the catalogue, and on the order form. You should have your name, account number, and your phone number on those labels, at least. Okay. Print off plenty of front slips for your catalogues. Make all catalogues look the same. Order form in clear view. Don't hide order form away. Get a map and a notepad, or use a Clean Easy round book. And this is what it should look like. So a nice front slip to the front, order form to the back. I recommend you don't close the snappy bag when you make them up. I close the snappy bag as I walk up the driveway to the door. Okay, and this is another key point. Failing to plan is planning to fail. So it's really important you set a plan. So when you make a plan, your first thing you want to do is decide how much you need to do. Just like we talked about there, based on those company averages, how many catalogues per week do you need to do? And that sets a goal for you, what you want to achieve. So use the retail income projection sheet. Set an ambitious goal. Do you know why? Do you know something? Some people tiptoe the first few months. But the truth is, what you want to really do is create a story. One of the top earners in the business, actually is the top earner in the business, Bob Webb, I know he teaches his people at the very first month, just blast it, get a really, really good story. If it's the hardest you have to work is that first month, then make it the hardest you have to work so you get that great story, so it helps you with your team building. So with your sponsor, make a plan. Use the weekly planner and decide whether you're going to post or present. So your weekly planner looks a bit like this. Your upline should do this with you. And first of all, take out when you can't work, when you've got your own commitments, maybe work or whatever else. When you can't work at Clean Easy Business, make sure you've got that on your planner. Then add in the meetings and trainings that you've got. If you're serious about building this business, make sure you go to trainings. You're on one just now, so that's great. Next, enter your retail plan. And then around that as well, you want to enter then the activity about how to build your team and your business. Okay? So open your shop. So as you said earlier, your friends and family, even if you've got 200 catalogues and you want to go out there and blanket them, make sure you take some of those catalogues aside and put them for your family. Make a list, as we said, and then systematically go through that list. I'm not going to go over that too much more now. And stick to your plan. Okay, now this is a wee tip as well, right? My very first week, 10 years ago, my goodness, can you believe it? 10 years ago, I started. In my first week, I did £500 odd in sales, and I made over £100. Do you know, somebody came out and told me that, somebody else does this area. And I went, oh no. And I ran away and did another area. But I just did £500 in it. Don't flip. And sometimes, you start off and your plan doesn't seem like, I didn't get the result I thought I was going to get. You're going to get low weeks and good weeks. Just stick to your plan. Listen to your sponsor. They'll keep you right. And get a move on. No time to waste. Get that early result. Get that early story. And you want to get a move on because get that customer base built. Don't dilly-dally with it. Be consistent every week out there building your customer base. Be consistent. Set a target and do it. Come what may. It might take sacrifice. It might have times where it's frustrating because you're maybe not getting that result that week, but then one week it's fantastic. But just be consistent. The hard work does pay off. And get the customer base built, because once it's built, the hard work is done. I've had the same customers for 10 years. So good things happen when you really go for it. Okay, so here's retail cycle. Deliver your catalogues. Ignore signs on the doors that say, for example, we do not buy and sell at this door, blah, blah, blah. They're not for you. Most of my customers have them on their doors. Ignore other distributors, other catalogues. If another Clean Easy catalogue's on the doorstep, do you know something? I still put the catalogue through. And I've done that. An order's been on the doorstep with another catalogue. I put my catalogue through, went back 2 days later, I picked it up, and I had an order as well. Okay? 1 or 2 days later, click catalogues back in. If it's not on the doorstep and there's nobody in, then use the sorry I missed you slip. If you've got an order, great, use the thank you for your order slip. Then get those catalogues ready and get them out again ASAP. Build up that retail story. Build up that customer base. As soon as your catalogues are back in the house, your shop's closed. And then get back for those stragglers. The next day, there are still orders in those late catalogues. Give them 3 attempts. Use sorry I missed your slips again, and I give them 3 attempts before I decide that catalogue is lost. And keep good records. So use a round book or a notepad. I use this code. You can use your own, your sponsor. I recommend you use your sponsor's code, but here's mine, okay? If it's not being looked at, so the catalog comes back to me the exact same way I made it up, it's not looked at, it's an N. Looked at, it's an L. If there's an order, it's an O. If I had to slip the house, I put a wee dash in the corner. If they didn't take one that time, because sometimes you get that, oh, I'm going on holiday, I put an X. And if they don't want one ever again, an EX and a square right off my list. Okay? And if there's no order form, when I go and collect the catalogue back in, rather than just stand there, I'll have a quick look, but if I can't find it, I put NOF for no order form in the box. That way, if I find an order form later on with an order in it, and it's not got an address on it, I can look back and work out whose order form I couldn't find. So here's an example of that. Okay? See, N, L, etc., etc. But eventually what happens is, like this last one here, you start to find a pattern. So that's the first month maybe, then 4 weeks later done the area again, another 4 weeks after that again, and you can see here this person 3 ends in a row, not looked at 3 times in a row. You can take them off your list, and eventually what you're doing is you're whittling down that list to find just the customers. Deliver the customers' orders the following week. All orders are placed at cleaneasy.co.uk, sent to you by parcel force within, it takes 2 working days, providing your order is placed before 3:15 p.m. You have to make up the order. You can put them in bags. If you can order bags on that code there for £2 for 100. And make sure you've got plenty of change when you go to your customers. When I deliver my orders, I've used the thank you for your order slip, so that tells them when I'm coming to deliver it. So they're expecting me. But sometimes some of them are still not in. So I use a sorry I missed you slip for the order. And then once you put all your money in, go back to zero. There's nothing kills a business more than not paying off your invoices, right? So that's the first thing you do. When you get that money in from your orders, don't think, yeah, beauty, let's go and spend it. First thing first, pay off your invoice, which is emailed to you by the company. It says total catalogue, right? I can't remember, retail amount, and it's got the value of the full order less retail profit. That's how much you keep, and it says to be paid to us by, and it gives you the full invoice amount. Pay off that first, and then the rest is yours. So go back to zero every week. Keep a customer list and excludes addresses, names, phone numbers, order history. Keep it on a computer or a hard copy or both. So you want to go around an area, make a cycle of 4 or 5 weeks. So you're going back to the start every 4 or 5 weeks and doing the area again, okay? And that's what creates a customer base. So after that, maybe you've done an area 3 times. That will take, if you're doing it every 4 weeks, that will take you obviously 12 weeks. You would then cram basically what you did in what used to take you 4 or 5 weeks. You could probably cram into 1 week, because you're cutting out all the people who don't buy, maybe taking out 80 to 90% of the houses, and then you can take rather than doing that over 4 or 5 weeks, why not put them all together and make that one customer group and do it in a week? Okay, so that's what I would recommend. Okay, so and then that frees up the rest of your time, the rest of the period, to build another customer set, and that's how some of these people who you see with huge retail built their customer bases. Reasons to do it. A good strong customer base will give you £3 to £5 per catalogue, and eventually more. There's people in our team like mum and dad, and some of our groups sometimes get up to £10 per catalogue. So it's less time spent, but more money earned. So the initial results don't matter. It doesn't matter if you were getting 20 pence per catalogue to start with. Once you get into customer base, every customer base works the same. So it doesn't matter how long it's going to take you to build that customer base, if it's 1 customer at a time or 20 at a time. As long as it's building, you will get to a customer base. If your averages at the start are rubbish because you're getting 30, 40, 50 pence per catalogue rather than £1 per catalogue, it doesn't matter. Because as long as you keep adding customers to your customer list, eventually that area is going to become a customer base. And it'll pay you the same as everybody else's customer base. So avoid some of the pitfalls. Get busy. Do your 30-day challenge. Well, it's now called your welcome rewards, which is now extended over 60 days. That's an old slide, sorry. avoid those pitfalls. 20 pence per catalogue or £2 per catalogue, doesn't matter. Don't get fixated on the early results as long as you're building that customer base. Don't worry about the people not buying. It's the people who are buying that matters. Prioritise your time and listen to your sponsor. Don't let your numbers drop. If you're making a commitment to doing 400 a week, if you do 400 one week, the next week you did 100, you're not being consistent. Don't let your numbers drop. Be consistent and be persistent. It will build. Okay? 10 years experience from doing it. And take responsibility. If things aren't going the way you've hoped for, understand this. It's your business. It is a business. And you're the CEO. There is always ways to get to build to get over obstacles. Okay, we're going to quickly just cover something else. Going a bit longer than normal. That's just my usual, isn't it? About building your team. So that's a bit about retail, about catalogues. We don't cover catalogues very often, and I think that's something that's a shame, because catalogues are, for me, I do thousands of pounds worth of orders every month on a part-time basis. But now we're going to talk about networking, and we have fantastic sponsoring figures in the business right now. It's amazing. I can't believe it, right? Week 2's figures for Gavin Scott's team look like a fantastic period, a full period at the end of a full period. But that was only week 2. Now it's like crazy. People are coming in so fast, and it's through Facebook mostly. I noticed that a lot of it's through Facebook. But you know what? There's other ways to build your team, and a few people go a long way. It doesn't have to be a lot of people. A few people does go a long way. So don't be overwhelmed by the idea of having a big team. A few people go a long way. If you had just 10 consistent people in your team, that could add an extra £1,000 per month into your income. So if you maybe seen the news, you'll know that thousands of people need our opportunity. And you know what? Someone you know is in need right now. Someone you know, not just in case of, it's not also about Dire Straits, some people they need more money. Somebody you know, 1 in 10 people apparently, don't earn less than the right goings. It says 1 in 10. I think it's probably more than that, but there you go, that's the case. That's a statistic. Somebody you know needs more freedom in their life. Someone you know is fed up working for a boss. Someone you know needs more time to spend with their family. Someone you know. So who do you know? And here's what I recommend you do. It's the same exercise you're doing to write that list for people to give those first catalogues to. Just write down people you know. But instead of just thinking about who lives locally to you, who you can get a catalogue to, just write everybody down. Doesn't matter who they are. You know what? My granddad is 93, I think it is, 92, 93. I'd put him down. I'd ask him, because we're not necessarily going to ask them to join the business. We're going to ask them, who do they know? Okay? And that opens up more people than you can think about. Because if you don't ask them directly if they want to join, then that's just who you know. But if you ask who do they know, that opens up to a lot more people. So use a memory jogger, get a notepad and pen, who are my relatives, etc., etc., and work your way down through the list. Who do I know who's a baker, works in a restaurant, a bank, nursing home, etc., etc., etc. And the whole idea is just to jog your memory of people you know. And then the idea is to contact everybody you know. Send a message to them. Something along the lines of this could be, this is just an example. Hi James, it's Stephen. I just got started with something really exciting. Could you do me a favour? Could you take a look at my short video and let me know what you think? Who do you know that would like to earn extra income right now? See, we're not asking James, we're saying, who do you know? We're asking for a favour to look at it and let us know what he thinks, but we're also asking, who do you know? Here's a link, put a video link. Please let me know what you think. I really appreciate the feedback. Thanks. Right? Now, if I was a friend and somebody said that to me, I would look. Okay? Because that's the kind of guy I am. Now, here's a thing. Well, here's what most people do. Right? Here's what most people do. Most people will write down who they think would be the most likely to join. That's what they do, right? Now, a wee explanation about that, why that's a bad idea. I was listening to a training once by Helen Allgood. Helen's got fantastic business. Really good at training as well. Excellent. And she was doing I think it was a Millionaires. And she's in a room of people, a lot of people. And she was going, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to guess who likes Brussels sprouts. And she looked around the room and she went, oh, Jane, you like Brussels sprouts. stand up. Michael, you like Brussels sprouts, I think. You stand up. Oh no. Timothy doesn't like sprouts. You stay down. Who else? And she picked maybe 6 or 7 people who stand up. Then she said, okay, you standing up, sit down if you don't like Brussels sprouts. And I think only 1 or 2 people stayed standing. She said, see, that's how most people do their war market. They try and guess who's going to be most likely to join. And most of them that they ask don't want to join, and that's fine. She said, this is how you should do your war market, your people you know. And she said, right, to the whole room, she said, right, stand up if you like Brussels sprouts. So she asked everybody. And you know what? About a quarter of the room stood up. And that's the lesson there. If you don't ask everybody and you try and guess for them, you're going to miss out on so many good people. So you can send a message via Facebook, email, text message. But you know what? Good old-fashioned phone. Pick up the phone, talk to your friend, talk to people you know. Meet up with them. Get to know them. Get to talk to them, Get to know if they know somebody that they'd like to earn extra income as well. And don't forget that the fortune's in the follow-up. If you're sending out that message, don't just expect them to come back to you. You also want to follow up every single person that you're sending information to as well. Ask them, hey, did you get that? Did you get a chance to look at that video? Did you know anybody who's looking for extra income? You'd be doing me a huge favour. Thanks. Right? No big deal. Okay, great. So I've got to the end of my presentation. It's been a long one today. I usually aim for 40 minutes. Apologies. Now, so what I usually do now is open up for questions. So if anybody has a question, what you can do is you can unmute yourself. If you want to be in a video as well, you can do that. And if you don't want to say your question, but you've got a question, you can use the chat facility. If you don't know what that is, I'll just put hi, so it should come up it should come up as orange on your screen, I think, when I do that. And you can reply back with a question if you've got a question. If nobody has a question, that's fine. We would just go and put back on some videos, and we would finish for the night. So any questions by anybody? Oh, thanks very much, Lynn. You had me all nervous today. We don't usually have, other people coming in. How to use the camera, etc. Okay. Right. If you don't know how to use the Zoom, it should have. Depends if you're on your laptop, then it should just be at the bottom on that kind of grey thing there. You've got to the far side mute. Now I've actually muted everybody. I'll hold on. Wait. I've just unmuted everybody, but just don't. I'll mute everybody again, but I'll allow you to unmute yourself if you want. So you can click the video at the bottom. If you want to click the microphone button, that will unmute you, and feel free to ask any questions.
Hi Stephen, it's Kate here. I can't see is it the little blue video camera icon right at the bottom of the screen? Yeah,
it should just be next to the microphone button. Are you on a tablet? Or a phone?
Right. Okay. Hi.
Oh, hello, Kate. It's nice to see you.
Is that it then?
Actually, you can see and hear you.
Simple as that. I've not done Zoom before. This is a really good tool for the business. It's great.
Oh, it's great. I use it for one-to-one coaching. I use it when I'm doing my calls to my prospects, and I want my team members to listen. They're on here as well, and we do it because you can also share screen and do everything and do demonstrations and that kind of thing. I didn't do that today, but sometimes I do. So good.
Thanks very much. Excellent tool.
Yeah. I thought you maybe had a question or something. Well, not a lot of people know who you are, Kate. Tell us who you are, Kate.
Okay. Hi there, everybody. I'm Kate Forbes. I've been in the business quite a long time, and I'm in front level to Lynn McDonald. I'm bronze executive in the business, and I've been on a couple of company trips to South Africa and Monte Carlo.
Ooh.
And building a really, really good business now. I would say, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, Stephen, the business is a completely different business to what it was even 2 years ago before the online started. And it's great to see all the successes at the moment. It's really fantastic.
Yep.
Great business. Really enjoying it. Okay, that's all I want to say.
Great. Thanks very much, Kate.
Thank you.
Anything to share? They can feel free to share. I think, that's somebody else unmuted. Okay. Well, I'm good. Well, if nobody else has a question or anything else, what I will do, I will just put the videos back on. So thanks very much, everybody, for coming on. I will put on, I think it was Jennifer Sinnott, because Jennifer put in full Jennifer Sinnott. Fantastic testimonial.
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, I'll just turn off videos then, okay?
Well done. Thank you very much, Stephen.
No worries. Take care. Thanks, everybody, coming on.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. This time last year, I attended my first ever Clean Easy showcase here in Birmingham, and it really opened my eyes to what was possible in this business. I've only been in the business just over a year, so my story is short, but I really do hope it can inspire you and your teams a little and show you what can be achieved in a relatively short period of time if you focus and put in the hard work required to build a successful network marketing business. My Clean Easy journey began back in December 2014 when I answered an ad on the internet to earn an extra income working from home. I had overspent on my credit card over the Christmas period and I was in debt. So it must have been playing on my mind on that fateful day. Not only did I have credit card debt, I also had loans, and my debts were beginning to mount significantly at this time. I was sent the information and videos on the business, and I was really excited about the prospect of running my own business online. So on January the 26th, 2015, I took the plunge and joined Clean Easy. I just wanted to share with you a little bit about my background and where I come from. I spent my 20s living in London, working as a PA for a large corporation. In 2001, I decided to move home to Ireland. It was home and I missed it. Ireland was booming at the time, and upon my return, I joined a large law firm in Dublin, where I worked hard, and I'm also pleased to say I partied hard. I was your classic Celtic tiger cub, and during that time, I bought a house, a new car, I took 4 holidays a year, and I even got engaged to myself. I bought a diamond ring. It was gorgeous. In 2009, with no warning at all, I was made redundant. I was given 24 hours notice, and it came as a huge shock to me. Everything changed overnight. I managed to secure other employment, but not at the same level of pay as I had before, and I had to drastically change my lifestyle. I had a lot of debt at this time as well, as a large mortgage, and being honest, I wondered if I'd ever clear my debts. The Clean Easy opportunity came along just at the right time in my life. I needed something that I could do around my full-time job, something I could do part-time from home, and something I could do in the weekends, in the evenings and at weekends. I was also excited about the idea of working for myself, as this had always been a dream of mine. So with no retail or network marketing experience prior to joining, I decided to give it my best shot. Hashtag Balbriggan Bargains, my Facebook selling group, was born. I started immediately setting up my group and promoting the products. I was stunned. In my first month, I sold over €1,000 worth of product, totally from online sales, and I was hooked. But most of all, so were my customers. It was a great outlet for me, and I felt I was making real progress by doing something positive to help my debt situation. I kept myself busy all the time and really enjoyed meeting new people. It was a great buzz. My first check was the grand total of $249.99. Not life-changing, but it was a start. This check was so important as I really could see the potential of the business. People loved the product and I knew I could make a success of it. I continued to retail up to €1,600 during the next few months. It was so easy to promote the products on Facebook and give out the catalogues to my online customers. An ex-colleague of mine, Sandra Masterson, joined me in the business, and slowly but surely progress was being made. In May 2015, I attended my first showcase, and this is where everything completely changed for me. I hadn't a clue what to expect when I came here to Birmingham. Well, looking back, it certainly changed my outlook forever. I was so inspired and motivated by the amazing stories, and I got to meet so many successful leaders in person too. The company highlighted what could be achieved, the lifestyle, the incentives, the conferences, and of course, the fantastic residual income. I came away from the showcase thinking, wow, I want that. I want to go for gold. So this is what I did to go for gold. I took massive action immediately upon my return from the conference by generating Facebook leads through ads and my selling group. I let nothing and nobody stand in my way, and I was very focused on my goal. I never took my eye off the prize and was determined to reach my goal. I also had utter belief I could do it, and I could visualize myself on the stage at the next showcase, getting my recognition for achieving my goal. I am also extremely passionate about this business. It would be fair to say the more I believed, the more my business grew. So in my first year